Alright, hey guys, welcome back to this channel. Hope you have a wonderful day. If you guys new to this channel, I usually talk about a lot of things when it comes to personal finance, side hustle, property investing, anything in between in order for us to achieve financial freedom, retire early, let's say. In today's video, I'm going to talk about, is it better to pay off the extra repayments of the mortgage or leave it in your offset account? So this is a topic, I guess, for the property investors out there or property owners out there. So if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, as well as thumbs up. That would be muchly appreciated. So yeah, the topic of conversation of property ownership, it might be a little bit confusing for some. And some people forget why they having the property in the first place. So this is one of those questions. So let me repeat the questions. Is it better to pay off extra repayment of the mortgage or leave that money in your offset account? Which one is it better? So for me personally, if I have to choose, I would pay off the mortgage. Because depending obviously on your circumstances, but in my personal circumstances, I would pay off the mortgage. The concept of, hey, I've got this money here, I just put it in the certain account, so that way it sort of minimizes my interest rate. Well, what if a life without any payment of a mortgage? It doesn't make any sense by keeping a mortgage. If you're still on the start of your journey, then yeah, maybe put it off in the offset account. Because in the beginning of let's say your repayment stage, and depending if you're a pay as you go type of person, if you're earning, let's say, weekly wage and not expecting any extra income, definitely put it on the offset account. Now, if you have a big lump sum on the other hand, let's say if you're in a commission-based type of job, and if you have a big lump sum, then I would rather pay off the mortgage instead of putting it in the offset account. What for? Like for me, mortgage equivalent to a debt. Yes, the concept of an offset account, it's offset. If you have that money in the offset account, it reduces your interest rate, let's say, or it that's how the bank calculated. If anything happened, I could take that money out from your offset account. But meanwhile, you've still got that mortgage. So for us, on the other hand, our way of doing things is pay it off as quickly as possible. You know, for example, on our mortgage, on our mortgages, we have a cap repayment for up to $5,000 per mortgage, per account. Every time I have an extra money, I'll pay that off. I pay up to the $5,000 if I can, before I get the penalty, let's say. Now, on the other hand, if you were, let's say, in a weekly repayment or in a non-commission based income, then yeah, I would probably, you know what, I can only pay $5,000 additional repayment on top of my weekly my weekly mortgage repayment, let's say. Then I recalculate it based on $5,000 a year, so that's averaging just under about $100 a week. So I'll just put an extra $100 on the mortgage. So the concept for us is get rid of the mortgage as quickly as possible. There's no if or but about it. They just get rid of it. Just now, a few minutes ago, we just contact our lender, and they sent us a mail that's saying we fixed our loan, and as of, I think it was a few days ago, our interest rate change. It was 4%, but if we fix it for another 2 years, it will be at 2%. We contacted the bank today. Well, we fixed it at 2%. Thank you very much. Why would I want to pay 4 if I can get it 2? That's one. Why would I want to have a variable where you don't know the circumstances of your life, if it's going to change for the next 12 months or 2 years. I'd rather have a fixed repayment. That way I know a certain dollar figure every week I have to pay this amount. Now, because we were doing that, we ended up saving roughly an extra $70 per week repayment. I mean, $70 is $70. Now, what I do with that is, instead of putting it in the offset account, I just pay the mortgage because we want to get rid of it. Life without payments, it is much better than having a payment. Life without having any mortgage, it is much better than having any mortgage. Yeah, that's just my way of thinking. This is our way to achieving FIRE. In order for you to be financially free and financially independent, have minimum debt as little as possible. And if you have any debt, pay it off as quickly as possible. Yes, we did take a 30-year loan, but I'm not expecting to pay that loan over 30 years. I'm expecting to pay that off within about 15 or less. Because without having debt, you can do so much more. You can create a lot more wealth. I guess I made the mistake of believing a system where, having debt is a good thing. Having a mortgage is a good thing. Having a credit is a good thing. I've changed my mind after having all of them, and now I'm doing the other way around. Where, what would life look like if you don't have any mortgage? What would life look like if you don't have any repayment? So, if you have a big lump sum, like this is a lump sum that is after, let's say, after your emergency fund, 3 to 6 months. Anything above that, I would throw into the mortgage. If it's not through to the mortgage, then I would probably pay it, let's say, buy it on other investment vehicle that pays more than the mortgage interest rate. For example, with us, our mortgage rate at the moment is 2%. However, our other investment, let's say, we're earning roughly about 10%. So, I'm receiving 10, but I'm paying 2. So, which way I'm looking at doing? Well, I'm doing both. One, I maxed out my repayment capacity. Like some mortgage product out there can, you're able to make a payment up to $35,000 a year. Then, without having any penalty, then I'll take that. I'll pay it off as quickly as possible. Debt is a debt. No matter how you look at it, it's a debt. You can't, for the way I look at it, you cannot build wealth if you have debt. You will never be able to, well, you probably can, but you're sharing your profit, let's say, to the debt repayment companies. Whether, let's say, for example, well, in my instance anyway, it's the repayment now becomes $200 per week, whereas beforehand it was $270 a week. I still have to pay $200 per week, no matter what. Even my income, let's say at $400, $200 of that, which is about half of my income, goes to the creditors, the debt owners, let's say. So in this instance will be the mortgage company. So I try to minimize my mortgage as quickly possible. Why should I profit share my income with other companies if I can keep it all to myself? That's my way of thinking. It might be a bit different. It might be a little bit not normal, not the ordinary, let's say, for the people out there who's creating wealth. For us, we don't believe in debt. We try to minimize debt. We try not to have any other influence in the marketing gimmick when it comes to debt. In fact, we're in the position where if we're gonna buy a house, our next future house, it would be in cash. It might be a while before we get there, but that's my game plan. I don't want to use debt. I don't want to borrow money from anyone else. I would rather just pay all in full in cash. That way, if you have anything happen in your property, you don't have that I guess constraint that you have to make this amount because I am committed to pay this amount to the bank or to the mortgage lender or to the creditors. That's my way of looking at things. So would you rather keep it in the offset account or pay off the mortgage? Then I would rather pay off the mortgage, because if you have less mortgage, that means it's less repayment. That means more money for you. You can do whatever you want. I mean, probably another way looking at it as, let's say if your repayment, it would be a $50 reduction or something, and your hourly rate is $50. So that means $50 that you don't have to go to work for, or maybe that extra $50 can be your fun money, or going out to have dinner with your family instead of giving it to the bank or giving it to any mortgage company or creditors. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. So which way would you rather be? Which way would I choose? Putting in the offset account or pay off the loan? I choose to pay off the loan. If you don't have any loan, life is much clearer. I'd say much beautiful. That's just my 2 cents once more. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you like this type of content, and I will see you on the next video.